One of the communications aids that is getting a lot of buzz these days is POC radios. I purposefully refer to them as communications aids because they aren't radios in the ham and GMRS sense of the word. They are, of course, radios, but in the same way your cell phone is. Let's check out the TomoLink POC radio that Radioddity sent me just recently. I reviewed a POC radio here on the Gadget Talk channel before, so was interested when Radioddity offered this pair for review. I was really interested in how this set might be different than the one I reviewed previously. Before we jump into some close-ups of the devices and their use, let's take a minute or two to chat a little bit about what POC radios are and, equally important, are not. Let's start with the name. POC refers to push-to-talk over cellular. That means the radio is connecting to other radios either singly or one-to-many using cellular service. This set comes with 2 SIM data cards with 3 years of prepaid data service. After that, you'll need to renew them. POC radios require a smartphone app to connect to their service provider to make the connection between the various radios in your group. You can select radios individually or select several as part of a group. Radioddity says that these radios allow you to set up the groups on the devices rather than using the app. We'll look at that in a couple of minutes. I found using the app was easier, and I'd recommend doing that. The Super PTT app allows you to add your phone to the POC grouping so you can use it to contact any one of the radios or several of them using the groups. These radios work by you setting the destination radio or group and simply pressing the PTT button and starting to talk. There's no dialing or listening for the ringtone at the other end. Your voice will simply come over the speaker. Additionally, you can select the destination radio in the menu and it will ring. We'll look at that in a minute too. POC radios allow almost instant communications with those in your group, regardless of where they are. If the person you're calling has the device turned on and has cell service, your transmission will go through anywhere in the country. The use cases for these kinds of devices tend to be more commercial, though not exclusively so. For example, you can get several of these for your family for a cross-country car caravan or just stay in touch around town. Do you have a family member who you need to check in on who has trouble with cell phones? This might be a way to simplify staying connected with them too. In the commercial settings, these work for team communications around the job site or around the country if you have a dispersed team. Oh yeah, and there's no license requirement, as there is with ham and GMRS radios. What these radios wouldn't be good for is off-grid communications. If you or your contact is not within cell service, or if cell service is down due to a disaster, these aren't going to work. So, with all that out of the way, let's look at what comes in the package. So here's the box that these 2 little radios come in. Let's take a quick peek at what's inside. First thing we have is the user's manual, and it's just kind of a fold-out piece of paper. It's got a number of things describing the menu system, such as it is, and how to do some of the basic stuff. And then on the other side here, it's got things like, setting the backlight timeout, setting your SIM card, and some troubleshooting. So it's pretty simple. There's not a lot to these radios. So the user's manual is similarly pretty easy. The next thing in the box is a little wall wart for the USB-C cable. It's the USB-A on one side, C on the other right here, and then a belt clip that snaps into the back of the radio. We'll take a look at that in just a minute. Now, this is the radio. We'll look at this a little more carefully here in just a second, but on the back, we've got the label with the serial number and that kind of thing. Behind this little door is the SIM card, and there's place for 2 SIM cards. This comes with a SIM card that's good for 3 years of data, and it is already installed in the radio. And then here is the battery. It's a 3.7 volt lithium ion battery with 2,500 milliamp hours of power, and that just snaps in as easy as this. Slides up in there. And then let's take our belt clip here and snap that in as well. And that's all there is to that. We're all ready to go. Now let's do a little tour of the radio. The antenna is up here. This is the group change button. It is not an on-off button, and it's not a volume knob, so it's a little bit different function. There's a little transmit and receive indicator right up over here. Here's the push to talk. We've got 2 programmable side keys. We've got the menu key, the back key, and up and down here. And they do different things depending on the menu that you have selected. Behind here is a USB-C connection that you can use, I think, for programming or perhaps USB-C based microphone. We'll have to look and see. And then charging for the battery is in this USB-C down here with a little bit of a charge indicator down there. Before we go through the setup process, if you find this video helpful, please click the thumbs up button below the video. And if you're not a Gadget Talk subscriber, be sure to click the subscribe button and the notification bell. Besides using the affiliate links in the description, you can also support the channel by becoming a member or clicking the thanks button below. I really appreciate it. Now, let's change cameras and take a look at setting up these little guys and how they work. So here on the front, we've got the screen, the menu key, the back key, and then this back key is the on-off. So we'll press that. And you can see that it comes on. It's expecting the Super PTT app, and we haven't connected yet. So it's just going to stay this logging in, and we can maneuver here or change volume here. So see if we can turn the volume down a little bit. So let's get the Super PTT app going and work through the connection process. And so we've got the app going here. So we're going to press add a device, and we're going to select scan, which I think is going to allow me to use a QR code. So we'll press the button here to get the code back. We'll press the scan button there. I'm going to give it permission to use that while we're using the app. And it's got the app and the number, and it comes up at 89908. So it's been scanned. We'll hit confirmed. It's linked successfully. And you can see that we've got it listed up there. Now we're going to get the other one out. So now I've got my second PTT device here, and we're back in the phone app. We're going to add a device. We want to scan. We're going to go up with this. It's not registered. There we've got the QR, so we're going to press scan. We're going to get it in here and let that scan go over. This is 3966, 3966. That is the correct one, so we're going to confirm that. And so now we've got 2 devices here loaded in our Super PTT app. And so I'm here in my main screen. I turn the radio off, and then when it logged back in, I've got these 2 radios connected, and you can see them here. And then I'm just turned the volume down so it doesn't blast us out. I'm going to do that with this radio here, so you saw what got me to that point. So we'll turn this back on.
Locked in shit.
Okay, so now I've got my two little guys here. These are who I have available to call, and then I can set these up in a group or what have you. So let's see if I can make a call between these two guys. So by pressing the side key, I've got this identified, and if I press to talk, hopefully I'm going to get a reception here on this radio. So let's see what we get. Test, test, 1, 2. And so you saw that these came in. It's a half a second behind because it's going through the cell system. And then you could hear. Let me put it up by the microphone so you can maybe hear a little bit better. Test, test, 1, 2.
Test, 1, 2. Test, 1, 2.
And so there we are. So we've got these two. Now, if I wanted to talk to this radio over here, and so this is where I called, I want to have him selected. So I'm going to go down here. And this is the ZT 0G radio. And if I call back, I'm going to select him. And you can see that's calling in. So if I select it, I can actually set up a call as opposed to just talking like you would with a walkie-talkie. And then I can hang up. So that's pretty cool. As a matter of fact, I kind of like the idea of getting that dial tone. Another set of these that I've looked at didn't have that. You pick it up, you press to test, and you talk like this. Test, test, 1, 2. So there we are. We've got the two radios. They're logged in with this Super PTT app, and it's just as easy as that to get these started. Well, you can see that the batteries are about out, so I'm going to put these on a charger and play around a little bit more with them as we think about groups. So I've been playing around with this a little bit, and you'll notice I've made a couple of changes. If I go to these various devices, I can go in here, and then I can go up here to edit, and I can change the name. And so instead of that long string of letters, I can put a name on it that's meaningful to me. And it doesn't change it officially, but it does just change it on the displays. And so that is quite handy. So you can see that I've named these devices Gym 1 and Gym 2. And then again, working in the app, again, because it's easier, I can go to groups, and I can also then find groups. And so now if I go to the radio and press one of the buttons to get the screen on, you can see that this is the radio Gym 2. And then I established a group called Gym Group 1. And if I had a number of groups, I could use my last name, Group 1, Group 2, my company name, and that kind of thing. And so that's where these are. And so if I use these side keys here, then I can select Gym Group 1, and if I press OK, I've got that in there. And if I press to test or press to talk, then it comes through there just like it did when I had an individual selected. And then if I go to the second side key, I can select Gym 1 if I go OK. And then I'm going to get the ringtone, and I'm going to hang up. So with my group set up here in the radio, I was able to do that just by going in here, going up to my little boxes up there, and then I can I've got a command for joining a group. And to do that, I can do that via getting a QR code here established. And then same thing here with gym number 1. Again, I'm on Gym Group 1 is my current group, and I can go up here, and then I can form a new group, or I can join via a QR code. And all this works pretty well, especially if the group doesn't have just all kinds of random letters and numbers, but I go in and actually rename the group that I want to be dealing with. So that's the app, that's the device. You can get in here and see my groups. You can get my device numbers and names and so forth, and what's selected and what's in each of those groups. So that's a quick look at the app and how these things work. As you can see, getting the TomoLink PoC radio set up and working is pretty straightforward. You can also see that operating them is equally easy. After just a little thought, you'll be surprised at the uses you can come up with to make staying in touch just a bit easier. Again, please click the thumbs up button below and subscribe to the Gadget Talk channel. Join me over here for another video I think you'll find helpful. And don't forget the affiliate links and coupon codes in the description below. Thanks for watching.